Sorry I'm late. Traffic, something else. Looking good today. How you doing? Oh, me? You know, it's been a month since I moved here. No, it's really been a month. May 2nd. Pretty much a month. It's been pretty much a month. What I've learned being here, in America, the more south you go, the less real COVID is. I think that's a conversation for another time. This month's been pretty interesting. You know, I learning what I'm doing on the job. It's been pretty simple. I'll learn some new things at work. I bought a pretty bad car, so it's been in the shop a couple times. I thought I'd be saving some money, but it hasn't been very convenient for me. I mean, I only know how to get to work and get what I need, which is good enough, but it seems like there's a lot that Virginia has to offer, and I'm excited to actually explore, at least before I leave. I think I have maybe another month left here. We'll see. I mean, honestly, we don't know. I learned stuff at work. I'm trying to get back into, you know, my routine, reading, writing, making videos. Whoa. Sorry, that's the dog. Drinking water now. You done? You done? Yeah, it's been cool. Watched a few movies at the theaters. Bought myself a nice projector. Again, like I said, trying to get back into the routine. Reading, writing, making videos. Got dumped a few days ago. Yeah, it is what it, you know. I'm dealing with what comes with, you know, a breakup. So, but I'm all right. I'm doing all right. You know, especially a relationship like this when it was, you know, it was what it was. I'm thinking about getting back into, you know, bouldering and start running again. I haven't worked out in a minute, right? I haven't worked out in a minute. You know, one thing I learned or I realized, I mean, whether it's true or not, you know, it's up to interpretation and what you perceive of the world and life. Every moment prior to this one only exists in our memories. Like, if you don't remember it, it pretty much doesn't exist. You ever thought about that? You know, by the time this goes public, Memorial Day weekend would have already ended. And one thing I had to remind myself, you know, dealing with the breakup, was how to be a friend to myself, right? When a friend of yours, you know, gets out of a relationship, usually you want to take them out, just get them to be social, you know, get them out of that slump. So I had to do that to myself. Took myself to the movies. Ended up meeting someone. They were pretty cool. I took myself out to eat, did a nice drive, listened to some nice music. You know, I had to self-reflect and, you know, see what I could take from it. In regards to being newly single, I don't know if that's the right saying to use right now. With being newly single, right, I can go into a topic I wanted to talk about anyway a while ago, which is about being alone. And let's get into it. I'd like to start off by saying misery loves company. People will say what they can and do what they want to make you feel bad, guilty, and insecure to be just as unhappy as they are. And for those of you that do not know, my name is Max Aaron James, part-time asexual, full-time introverted recluse, and recovering shortbread cookie addict. And we're gonna talk about being alone. With what our planet dealt with in 2020, well, most of 2020, and what many areas are dealing with now in 2021, staying inside at home, possibly alone, has become much more acceptable than before, even with places opening back up. Me being the person that I am, staying home, away from the world, is not uncommon or new to me. It doesn't seem so much of an issue anymore. For my personality, oh my goodness, look at that hair. Really good. With my personality, being alone or with as few people as possible, away from, you know, large crowds, is a way I recharge and a way I reset to be prepared for a another event or to go back to work, to deal with large crowds again. It becomes draining for me, dealing with a lot of people and having to socialize with so many people, especially when I may not know them so well or be close to them. So after the energy is depleted, I have to go in. I have to retreat. I have to retreat. That was the word I was looking for. I have to retreat and be alone, or just be with a few close friends, people that I am really connected with. So that way, they're not draining me of my energy. Usually we're able to bounce off one another. I know there are a lot of people that do the opposite. They recharge by going out, getting drinks, going to parties, and being alone is usually something when they're dealing with an emotional issue, right? And usually they prefer to be in large crowds and they enjoy it. Even with my personality trait or being an introverted, depending on your definition of it, doesn't necessarily mean that I'm the best or do better when I'm alone. I do better than other people when I'm alone. We are social beings and we do enjoy social interaction. When we are alone, we are left with only our thoughts. And if we're not spending most of our time staring at a screen or even a book, we are left with only ourselves to communicate with. And that leaves you with revealing and actually paying attention to your own thoughts and ideas and feelings. This can sometimes be when people get uncomfortable because sometimes these moments reveal a lot of people to themselves. Like those people that have a habit of taking their phones out when it gets quiet or silent, or they view it as an awkward silence. Like they feel uncomfortable with silence. They're used to, all the stimulation and noise coming at them, not noise just audibly, but noise as in what they see as well, feel, taste, so on and so on. Either way, I think moments like these, we can always tell who is good with being with themselves. Businesses do so well with keeping our focus on anything, a phone, a computer, a television. It pulls our attention away from all other things, even our own thoughts and ideas. The colors, the algorithm, celebrities' lives, all accessible at your fingertips if you're into that kind of stuff. It is easier, more convenient to shop. We're just a click away from music, videos, pictures, catching up with people from high school, seeing people from earlier days who maybe we don't like so much struggle. We can talk to our friends, family, coworkers, almost anyone, strangers from anywhere at any time, and it's just easier to do so much more stuff. Still, taking time to talk to yourself can benefit a lot. For example, you can discover what you really want to do in life. You can discover a new talent, a skill, maybe an old passion, maybe a new passion. Maybe you'll realize things that you enjoyed when you were a kid, you enjoy now. It's just that society told you to grow up. There is so much you can end up learning about yourself. You can discover things that maybe are holding you back. Friends, family, your job, a relationship. There was a quote someone said. I don't remember who said it. I don't remember where it came from, but it was someone once said. I don't know who said it. I don't know where it's from. If you do not enjoy your own company, you may not be as good of a friend as you think. And that hits pretty deep, at least for me. That of course goes into being a friend to yourself, to be a better person or be a better friend, but I think that's a whole different topic that maybe we'll hit on another video. Being alone can bring out the good and the bad. Quarantine depression is a real thing, and being alone doesn't really help, or at least it did not help for me, but that's my own situation. So yeah. Layer that on depression that I already had, and let's ease that into the holidays with seasonal depression, and it's quite a combination. Honestly, fortunately enough, I didn't have to deal with all these, at least not all at once. A quarantine depression eventually subsided, and so I just ended up having to deal with, typical depression. With being alone, for me, it can be tough at times. It is tough at times. Exposing past traumas, worries, concerns, revealing insecurities about yourself and fears about yourself. And so I learned to be a friend to myself and take time to be patient with myself in getting through certain situations. And that has benefited me a lot. And I recognize that this could potentially benefit one in any relationship, not just with yourself, romantic relationships. This is what I need in order to get through this. This is what I need at this moment. Friendships, this is what I need for me, for you, for us, to make sure that this relationship stays healthy. Another benefit of being alone is that the absence of other people can sometimes make their presence much more appreciated when they are around. At least for me, I know that I'm much more present with people when I'm not spending too much time with them. Of course, it depends on the person. Some people, I can spend a lot more time with than I could with someone else. And when I'm with these people, when I take a break from it all, when I end up with them again, it feels like I'm much more present. It feels much more enjoyable instead of me thinking of what to do next and what I need to do next. And I'm able to set that moment and ensure that moment is spent focusing on what I am doing with the people that are around. We forget so often that just as we have our own problems, our issues, work, our own families, our own ideas, our own feelings, so do other people. And we cannot expect them to be there or available at all times because they have their own lives. You enter the world alone. And you will likely leave the same. And I don't mean that to be dark. I think that's a thought to acknowledge. I think that's important to understand. I do have moments where talking to someone is therapeutic, but reasons I have for being alone is it helps just as much at times with my mental health. Talking with someone about issues and expressing yourself to someone about how you feel helps with your mental health. But also being alone with your own thoughts, I believe, does the same. And that's another reason I enjoy and appreciate being alone. I am able to rely on myself for my own happiness, and I appreciate the presence of other people much more after being alone for so long. After spending so much time, especially this past year alone, I was able to address or identify behaviors and habits that were holding me back and change thoughts that were leading to self-sabotage. Without a human being around, I was able to prioritize my own goals, align my priorities with my goals, my desires, became much more organized. Without a human being around, I became much more organized, pinpointed my priorities that aligned with my goals, was able to recognize what I really want, and I was able to take a step back and take a look at it all. I revitalized a lot of passions that I thought were gone, including writing and making videos, and my creativity actually increased quite a bit. I think the need for imagination, because I wasn't so consumed and so deep in the social media realm, in this internet world, that when I was reading books and just writing and sitting down with my thoughts, my creativity was able to come out a lot more in my imagination because I relied on that for my entertainment, opposed to watching television for so long. After some thinking, alone of course, I got rid of so much clutter. Got rid of things that I do not need or do not use, and it didn't just come with just the little objects, including it came with people too. I got rid of a lot of people that were just noise sometimes, and also clutter in my life. It was like my minimalism got stronger. I don't want to call myself minimalist because I do enjoy fancy things, as many of us do, and I do collect vinyl records, so it's not necessarily minimalism, but I do try to limit what I own as much as possible. And many times when I buy something or buy a few things, I look back at what I should probably get rid of. It's kind of like a give and take. Removing yourself from the environment of ignorance, meaninglessness, belligerence, and at times hatred and meaninglessness allows you time to listen to yourself. You meet your shadow and you're able to heal. During the shutdown, we were pretty much forced to isolate. And this can sometimes feel very much different than willingly putting yourself in a position where you're alone, where you are alone. Positives I had to see was more time to myself. And in the very beginning, more time away from work, and I was able to do other things. As we see, we're slowly adapting and we're returning to that hustle and bustle of what is capitalism. And this, what we thought would be a new normal, is actually starting to look a lot more just like normal. You know, less people wearing masks, businesses opening back up into their normal hours. Eventually, I believe eventually, you know, this social distancing is going to disappear, and there may be people still wearing masks, but I think not much is going to change outside of that. I want you to take note, and I want you to know that every time you are alone, or anytime you are alone, it doesn't always have to be to reflect on your dreams and desires and look back on behaviors and habits and reflect on who you are. Sometimes it could just be to enjoy your own company and entertain yourself. So my camera died. After it died, I just decided to meal prep for the week, did some laundry, got some stuff cleaned up, did some writing, and now it's pretty much bedtime, but I need a shower first. Where was I? Oh yeah, enjoying your alone time. Perform a concert in front of the couch. Watch a movie, watch a show, dance, take yourself out to the movies. And remember that being alone does not always mean being lonely. That was pretty much all I had left. Hope you guys take care of each other, check up on one another, and check up on yourself. I'm about to do some quick editing. Hopefully I'll have this video up as soon as possible. And until next time, I'm out.